power and control, name that valve. I don't think these are all in order because I believe name that valve comes first. Talk a little more about the select pro sizing and selection tool, ANSI ratings, valve sizing for pressure dependent and pressure independent valves, our CCV valves, their orientation and assembly, a little bit about the Belimo energy valve, and then the website again, additional resources. So, name that valve. These are all the different styles of valves that Belimo has. Can anybody tell me what that valve is? Yeah. This is just a standard full-ported ball valve. All right, tell me what that is. Is that? Globe. Exactly. Globe valve. Industry standard for years, actually until Belimo brought out our characterized ball valve back in '99. Pretty much everything for control was a globe valve. You know what this is?
V-ported ball valve.
Yeah, we call it a CCV, characterized control valve. But yeah, it's a ball valve with a characterization to it. How about this one? You don't know the Belimo line, you're probably not going to get this one.
If you follow the book.
Oh, so I heard somebody, okay, yeah, I was going to say, I heard somebody say it. I was surprised. An HTCCV, high temperature characterized control valve. You can see it's a little bit longer than the last one. The reason being, this one is suitable for low pressure up to 15 psi steam. And the reason it's longer is, as you can see here, the characterizing disc in this one, it's not very thick. Well, to use it for steam, we have a much thicker disc in there.
How about disc, how about orifice? I mean, just to allow the.
This disc here, it gives the equal percentage characteristic to it. So it gives it a nice characteristic. Yeah, so we'll see in a few minutes, there's a slide that'll show like characteristics of a coil versus characteristics of a modulating valve. Yep. Has anybody seen something like this before? Yeah, I was gonna say, I never had until we brought it out. This is a six-way valve. Why would you use a six-way valve? You probably don't know. You're waiting for me to tell you, I know. We'll talk about it. What was that?
A 4-pipe fan coil unit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about it, but it was really designed with chill beam in mind. A 4-pipe chill beam type system. But we'll go through it in a little bit. Anybody tell me what that is? Yeah, with Belimo, it's we only have it as a 2-position. It's a zone valve. If you need to do modulating, then we always recommend going to the CCV. How about that one? Pretty easy one there, butterfly valve. This one? PICCV, pressure independent characterized control valve. How about this one? It's another pressure independent valve, but it's an electronic pressure independent valve, so EPIV. Does the same type of thing as the PICCV. It's a little bit larger, and it does the same thing, but in a different manner.
So is your handle up there kind of redundancy then? Is it electronically it actuates it, or you manually can override it, or?
You can manually override it, yep, yep. And so you see there is a little difference between these two pictures. You can see here that we've got a magnetic flow sensor there, but that's about it over on that end. Now you see a little bit more. My guess is that other than Dan, anybody else, Mike, you guys that was in the training class we did there, you probably wouldn't know what this is. This is Belimo's energy valve. So, we'll start by talking about pressure-dependent valves, which are the most common out there. Belimo's trying to swing the industry to pressure-independent, get some better control, a little bit of energy savings out of pressure-independent. But right now, pressure-dependent are still the most common out there. We're going to talk about the different valve types, the ones that we just saw in the name that valve, and identify what applications each type of valve is suitable for. So the ball valve that we showed first. It's a full ported ball valve. It's available in both 2-way and 3-way configurations. We have it available 1/2 inch through 10 inch stainless steel or bronze bodies with stainless trim. Connections, we have them in threaded and flange, depending on the size. You can see down here where the flange starts, there's a little bit of an overlap. Applications, see, typically used water side control, air handling units, things of that nature. Really, we don't recommend these for too many modulating type applications. Full ported ball valves aren't great for that. One other thing I do want to point out, the majority of the products we sell at Belimo have a 5-year warranty. There are a few, such as this one, that only has a 2-year warranty. All of our actuator line is all 5-year. On the valve side, we have a few different valve lines that are only 2-year, this being the first one I'll show. So when you're talking about ball valves and doing your selection and installation, well, one thing with these full ported ball valves, they can be used for steam applications and higher pressure steam than that high temp CCV that we showed earlier. And then we'll see again. See here, 35 PSI for the BS series and 50 PSI for the BSS series. You need to make sure you're installing it a 3-way correctly, depending on if you need it for diverting or mixing applications. The common port is on the side, which is different than a globe valve that you may be used to, which globe valves, the port's on the bottom. And then you always have to check piping geometry rules when talking about a full ported ball valve. What that means is if in the catalog you see a specific CV for the valve, well, if you're installing that valve in a line that's larger than the valve itself, you're going to get a reduction in your CV. 3-ways are not going to be used for steam applications. That's always a 2-way valve. Globe valves. Again, available in 2- and 3-way configurations. Globe valves we have available up to 6 inch. So half inch through 6 inch. We have ANSI rated 125 and 250 depending on the size. And again, bronze or stainless trim is available with the stainless offering higher speed. See here, the screwed versions are 1/2 through 2 inch, flanged are 2.5 to 6 inch. Globe valves are used for all types of applications. Air handling units, unit vents, fin tube, pretty much anything that's out there. See here, we do have the 5-year warranty. We have that warranty stamp on our actuators. The warranty, whether it's 2-year or 5-year, will show up on the label of the actuator. We haven't always had that, but that is the way it is now. Selection criteria. It's very important not to oversize the valve for a steam application. The reason being